watching from, whenever. Happy Valentine's Day, if that's something that you celebrate. I found some red. And I get to broadcast from home because we're supposed to have this really big ice storm that wasn't. And so I trust that you are safe and sound wherever you are. Today, I want to share about how we carry this secret. We carry a secret love affair. We all carry on a secret love affair. It's the secret love affair with our true self, with our essential nature, with God, with Spirit. The truth is, which is what we teach and many spiritual teachings teach, is that there is only love. That love is all there is. And so we can kind of scan our lives as we go through the day and see where the knots are. N-O-T, not love is all there is, but also the knots, the K-N-O-T-S, that prevent love from flowing. So if you are visiting us on live stream Facebook or you're on our YouTube, we want you to know that we are Center for Spiritual Living Morristown in beautiful historic Morristown, New Jersey. My name is Frankie Timmers. I'm the spiritual director. And so say hi, start a watch party, share our events and our pages and everything we're doing, and hit the bubbles, say hello to one another. Let us know if there's anything you need, anything you would like us to talk about. And we have a little surprise because of this beautiful virtual reality. We can bring in a guest. And our guest today is Susan Niedt. So listen to her set the tone with a spiritual practice and a healing treatment.
Hi, my name is Susan Niedt, and I'm a practitioner at the Center for Spiritual Living Princeton. It is a privilege to be back to Morristown, even if it is virtually. I have been rereading a book by Joel Goldsmith called The Gift of Love. It's a short, wonderful gem of a book, and his words are pure poetry to me. So I've woven many of them together into a short visualization on the topic of love, as love is ever present. So let's get right to it. I invite you to close your eyes, feel the support of that chair, and take a few deep breaths, whatever you need to do to be comfortable. And I'm going to read these words in the first person so that you can take them in as they are your own. Thy presence within me is infinite love. Where thou art, only love can be expressed, and thou art within me. Together, communing with one another, thou hast made my consciousness thy dwelling place. Thy presence is the activity of divine grace, and thy grace is my sufficiency in all things. I can do all things through thy presence within me, the presence of thine all-embracing love. Thy love, I feel it. It is here within me. It goes before me. It walks beside me, behind me, and always it is showing me the right way to go. I am held in thy love. I now feel the Spirit of God in the midst of me. I pay no attention to my humanhood. I pay no attention to whatever error of belief I may be expressing. For this minute, I am ignoring all of that because I am now beholding the Spirit of God within me. I and my Father are one. I am love expressed. I experience love in everything that I do. And now as you sit in this deep silence of peace, accepting that love that you are, let us hold that same space for others, that seamless robe of divine union, knowing that whomever we meet in the spirit of letting God's love through us, flow through us. We can do that by thinking the following. Each person I meet is a child of God. When I look at others, I do not look at their outer human appearance. I look through them and realize that in the midst of them, God is. I see them in the image and the likeness of God, the presence and the glory of God, the love that is God. And I rest in this peaceful assurance that love is ever present. Love is the only power. Love simply is. And I am love expressed. I am love expressed. And as we sit in the consciousness of oneness, I speak these words for each person watching. There is only love. Love is the ever-guiding presence within each. Each of us shines that light of love outward into the world, knowing the truth. And that truth has set each one free. And that truth is there is one life, one divine mind, one infinite presence dwelling within each one. And that love is all, ever-present, omnipotent, all-knowing, ever-guiding, ever showing us the way. And as we move forward each day, knowing that this love is indwelling, we experience that calm, peace, and harmony, that self-assuredness that comes with the blessed assurance that is, and that is the love that is ever present within us, the love that is the light of God shining through us, the love that we express and that we accomplish this miracle of love every day. As we let the Most High be expressed in our lives. This is peace ever present. So thank you for these words. I release them, knowing they are done, they are true, and I say, and so it is.
Thank you, Susan. That was lovely and inspiring and a reminder of the power of love. So, I don't know if you have ever felt like saying to people out there, whether it's at work or at home or your family, say, you know, I am having a secret love affair with God. There might be a few people you could say that to, right? Or the universe. I have a secret, intimate, deep relationship with the divine. Or my one and only boyfriend or girlfriend is spirit within. I like it, but I don't think any of us would do that, right? Because we would probably be thought that we were crazy. It's kind of like all that's asked of us is not just to say that, to go around saying it, but to act like it. What if we were to move around in the universe, move around in the world, and act as if we have this secret love affair with the divine? And what if we all did that? It kind of would be like the cat that ate the canary, right? We would have this funny grin on our faces because we'd be carrying around this secret. I know people like that. I know I'm sometimes like that, but I know people like that. They have this effusion of joy. They are, no matter what's going on, they carry a light with them. They have a deep peace within them. And so, all of us, whether we're aware of it or not, whether we live from it or not, we have a deep relationship with that which is most sacred. That's the truth of our very being. And when we're on a spiritual path, we're longing to live that. We're longing to express that and share that. We all already have one, or we wouldn't be able to breathe. Our heart wouldn't beat. We're all already being courted by the divine all day long. And deep down we know that, because that's what that desire is, that hunger is, that feeling of connection. We are so incredibly loved by the universe. We are so loved by the divine. It created us out of itself from infinite, unconditional love. So if you're the one listening right now saying, not so much, and then you tell me why, you have lots of proof why, right? There's a long list of whys. I'm here to tell you that the absolute truth in just about every holy spiritual tradition and teaching tells us that love is all there is, that we are infinitely loved, that God is love in us. And so if we think about it, since life is a mirror, our life is really just showing us what we believe about that. It's telling us. Do you believe that love is all there is? If you do, then life looks completely different than when we don't, right? And it's the don't believe that we act out. And so we can literally, from moment to moment to moment to moment, choose love. And then we can know that that which appears not to be love, and we experience as suffering, actually is a gift. It's a gift. It has something to say. It is showing us where we don't believe that love is all there is. It is showing us our thinking of love, not love. So our struggle then, our sense of separation, our fears, our worries, our anxieties, our complaints are really just love in disguise. They are our awakenings. They're awakening us to opening to the love that always has been, always will be, is infinite, is unconditional, and is what is most real. It's what most real. So when you find yourself feeling lonely, notice that you feel lonely. Describe it. Reflect on it. Think about, what is that about? What do I believe? And notice that you're in a place of feeling separate. That you're in that moment believing that love isn't all there is. And you can jump back onto the secret. You can jump back into the relationship. We can jump back into the remembrance that love is all there is. Imagine that, or maybe not imagine, it's maybe very real to you. Just think about if you're like single and you're suffering on Valentine's Day because you don't have that special Valentine. And you're the person that's looking for love. You're looking for a man. You're looking for a woman. You're looking for that special person to share your life with. What you're telling the universe is that you are separate. When you tell the universe that you are separate, it cannot bring you the love that you are seeking. It will withhold it from you. So go to the love that is already within you. Go to that secret, sacred love affair you're having with the divine and fall in love with yourself. Then you become that magnet for love. So maybe you're in a relationship and you're complaining because your loved one didn't do Valentine's Day right, or whatever else the complaint may be. I know that in my relationship, I have a few complaints that repeat themselves. They're wonderful spiritual practices, I must say. And as we look at them as spiritual practices and we heal them, they go away. We're free of them. So maybe you're somebody who's complaining right now. So I invite you to go a little bit deeper, to just kind of peek underneath that complaint and see what it is saying. Look at what it is that you need. Think about your expectation and how you can let it go and maybe communicate how you're feeling. Just make a decision about it. Barring abuse, relationship is a wonderful place to practice that love is all there is. So we know that love isn't all chocolate and roses and lovely cards, Hallmark cards or Hallmark movies or Hollywood movies. We already know that, but unconsciously we've been conditioned that that's the norm, and so that becomes our desire. But when we think about it, love is something to give, and the more we give, the more we receive. It's not something to try and get, because there will always be that level of dissatisfaction. And so the deeper work then is to know that we are already loved infinitely and unconditionally, and to receive it and to let go of what's in the way. To let love be the voice of wisdom, the voice of truth, the voice of guidance, and you'll hear those simple truths like love yourself. So I go through things throughout my week about different things, whether it's work or health or relationship or creativity. And sometimes it's heavy and hard. And so this week I went through something difficult, and I was like, I listened and I remembered a poem by Hafez that was really funny and pretty graphic. So I looked for it and I found it, and I want to share it with you because it's not only hilarious, there's a lot of truth and wisdom in it. So see if you hear something that resonates. It's Hafez's poem called Tired of Speaking Sweetly. Love wants to reach out and manhandle us. Break all our teacup talk of God. If you had the courage and could give the beloved his choice, some nights he would just drag you around the room by your hair, ripping from your grip all those toys in the world that bring you no joy. Love sometimes gets tired of speaking sweetly and wants to rip to shreds all your erroneous notions of truth that make you fight within yourself, dear one, and others, causing the world to weep on too many fine days. God wants to manhandle us, lock us inside a tiny room with himself, and practice his drop kick. The beloved sometimes wants to do us a great favor, hold us upside down and shake all the nonsense out. But when we hear he is in such a playful, drunken mood, most everyone I know quickly packs their bags and hightails it out of town. Isn't that great? Love isn't always chocolate and roses and sweetness. Sometimes it's tough love, shaking us, waking us. And what if any and all suffering is just that? The universe trying to get at our attention by shaking us. So when or if you feel lost or lonely or separate or lacking, give your gift of just stopping. Just stop and pause and take a breath. And in that moment, reflect and maybe make some new choices. Maybe choose to stop looking for love out there. And notice even when you're doing it unconsciously. And find it within, and knowing that it is so juicy and sexy and lovely and wonderful and rich and overflowing, that it heals you, that it sweeps away anything that's in the way, that it fills you up. Or maybe you stop and choose to stop acting as if you're unlovable. Just stop acting, or stop thinking, I'm unlovable. Just stop it. Just stop thinking, I'm not lovable. And start to believe that you are, because that's the truth. Or maybe it's stop believing you're unloving, that you're not loving enough. Just let that go. It just isn't the truth. You're as loving as you are able to do or be in the moment. And it is enough. It is enough, because love is infinite and there's always room for more for all of us. Or maybe it's believing that you aren't loved. And there's this wonderful affirmation that I love that says, I am loved, loving, and lovable. I am loved, loving, and lovable. I am loved, loving, and lovable. Do that for a while and see if you notice the change out here. And then the last one is choose to stop carrying the belief that you aren't enough, or aren't blank enough, aren't pretty enough, aren't young enough, aren't old enough, aren't smart enough, aren't spiritual enough, blah, 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 blah. Again, that is the greatest lie we tell ourselves. And as long as we keep telling ourselves that lie, it has to demonstrate in the world, because as within, so without, cause and effect. And it makes us act like we have lack. And that shows up in every area. It makes us be a beggar. It makes us look hungry. And so make a choice. Choose to stop looking for love on the outside. Choose to stop acting as if love doesn't exist in and around you perfectly the way it is now. Choose to believe, to carry the belief that you're not enough. If only we all knew, really, really knew, and knowing is not just here. Knowing and feeling and believing is all connected. How loved we are. How deeply, infinitely, unconditionally loved we are. If we really knew that, what could be possible? So just take a moment, close your eyes if you can, put your hand on your heart space, and just feel that. If I only knew how loved I really am, I would be. I would have. I would do. And just be willing to take it in, to believe it, to welcome it, to accept it. Or just act as if. That works too, because it becomes real. So there's a couple things I want to tell you about, and then I want to do a closing treatment with you. We have a Course in Miracles group. It's brand new. They had their introduction class on Thursday. And so if you're curious about it or interested, just leave a message here. Most of you, I trust, are on our email list, so you get all that information via email. It's posted on Facebook and Twitter and Meetup and Instagram. It's everywhere. So just ask us. And Reverend Janice, the beautiful Reverend Janice, is starting a new monthly class through the end of the year, but there is a introductory class that's free on Wednesday the 24th. And it's from 7 to 8:30 p.m. It's on Zoom. And then it's a monthly class called it's called Transformation 2021, 10 Spiritual Practices to Transform Your Life. And it's based on the book by Living Originally by Robert Brumet. And then we want you to know that if you're local and you're in the Morristown area, we have 2 bins outside our front door at our center in Morristown for you to bring your coats and hats, anything warm that we can share with nourishnj.org. Check out their website. And yoga is on the 24th, which is Tuesday is the 24th. That's always fun. And we have social hour today with Val Deliacano. And we were invited to wear red, so I'll be there and wear red. And if you see on the bottom of this screen, we now have this really fun thing, and I love doing it. I just set up a texting, and I do text to give, and I just text whatever I want to give. And it's just so fun to do. So consider that if you want to support our beautiful community. So let's do a closing treatment. Let us know, really come to know how loved we really are. So know with me that there is a love that cannot even be described in me. And whether I call it God or good or Mother Nature or life or divine presence or divine grace, it doesn't really matter what it's called, as long as it sparks love in me, in my heart. And when I speak from I, me, I speak from the I and me inside all of us. So hear it as such. I am the recipient of divine love. It is what has created me out of itself. It is ever giving of its infinite unconditional love, and I ever get to receive no matter what. And so right here, right now, I open my mind and my heart to this infinite, unconditional, divine love. And I find my secret, or not so secret, sacred love affair with the divine. I let it court me. I let it show me that love is all there is. I let it remind me that it is the love in me that fills me, fuels me, and heals me. And the more that I claim this love as who and what I am, the more it shows up in my world. And I'm so grateful that the world, the material world, shows me where I get to more deeply receive divine love. I let go of any obstacle in my consciousness to this love, knowing that it's a lifelong journey, because infinite love means there's always more, always more. I forgive myself for not loving myself unconditionally. This is easy, because the moment I do, divine love slips in and reminds me of grace and joy and peace and harmony right where I am. And so it is. I'm so glad you joined us, and hopefully next time we will meet from the Center Sanctuary. Have a beautiful Valentine's Day. Know you are loved, that you are loving enough, and you are lovable enough.